Okay. What we can do next for ourselves here. We'll go ahead and start with some white underpainting today. Hello, Humor. I still keep thinking sometimes about pressing the canvas for a sky. It still has some appeal for me. Well, let's just do it. We'll do it normal like on this one. Oh, that's a nice consistency. I'd mixed more white because, you know, remember that last painting with the fir trees and that? I really went through the old white on that one, so I had to mix more. I think I got a good consistency on this one. All right, we're going to try another. I may cover the whole thing on this one. I think I will. I might do it slightly differently. Attempting to do both ways. We've heard it both ways, right? I'm going to do the sky and then I'm going to worry about the rest of it. And because in case I want to do things a little differently with that. So, as you can tell, I'm still contemplating things a bit. Put another one up there, something like that. And that's kind of our yellow boundaries, our golden and yellow boundaries are there then. Put some in there. Let's get that this time. Put some this one in here. Maybe just some. Oh, there it comes. I thought for a minute that wasn't going to come out. I'm just going to spatter that up here. I might do my other. I'll go ahead and do it this way. I was tempted to do my other thing of mixing the color first, but I think I won't this time. So give ourselves a little bit of variety, and we'll sprinkle a little of that in there. A little bit of this on top. I don't think a press would work anyway on that with that blue there. That's going to have to be swiped for sure. Let's try this. Take me a couple goes. I wish I'd remember not to push off quite so hard at the end there. There's no, oh, shoot. Maybe not to put my hand right in it too might be a thought, you know. I need some, you know, I think I might need some more white up there. I got nothing. I'm swiping and nothing is happening. Look at that. It's funny, that's actually lighter and in a sense prettier than the other one, even though it's further back there. Didn't I just have this? Is it, oh, this, no, I did not. This is the other blue. Let's see. That will explain things. Maybe just a little bit of that darker blue. I have to say, this yellow there did not come out quite as pretty as what I thought it would. That's okay. It's okay for the moment. Doesn't much matter. I'm going to swipe a little more and try and get this section here a little more covered in paint. Boy, there's no paint there again. Okay. We might just even turn it around and swipe it back the other way. Since all the paint's now at that end. Get the paint down from this end down to that end. And do the same thing here. Okay. And what I'm going to do, this section here I think is quite muddy. I'm going to add, just going to mix it in there funky like that. A few extra drops of this here and there. See if we've got it. I don't know if we have enough to glow, but let's try it. Oops, turn the power on too. The top of the canvas, but it sure helped on the bottom of the canvas there, or the middle part, I guess it would be more than the bottom. Yeah, that turned so much muddier than I thought it was going to. Genius. Okay. Let's see if we can get a little bit more paint going up in here. Let's see here. I'm going to get these colors on up in here again. Because that's in here very light compared to the rest, in a manner that is not at all what I was going for, not even a little bit. Get more blues in there. Got more blue in here too. Whoop, if that'll come out. That ultramarine is really sticking in there. Maybe even a few dots of that other purple up in there might help. And I'm going to have to try and smooth it though before I do anything with that. Because if I try and blow on it like that, it won't work. It's got too many spots and not enough other stuff going on there. Going to leave it like that for a second. That is a crazy cloud there up on top. Again, not exactly what I was going for there. We might try one more swipe across, and then paint to both swipe and tilt enough to get it back where it belongs and give it just a smoother look to it. It's just a little bit. No, I did some funky stuff too. Isn't it? Over in here, as it dried, not dried, but as it settled, it did some really weird stuff. Let's try that. That's pretty enough. Let's try this. Oops, we lost our paint at the top there. Put that back up there, if we can. And then over here, let's try the next layer down here. One more time. And that's a much prettier, much gentler look to that. Just come one more time. I missed a tiny little spot. I'm going to see if I've got enough to tilt it to the side here and get the edge filled back in. Because as we know, when we swipe, we take a little bit of paint off the side there. So we'll see if we'll smooth it out this way. Trouble coming down here. Not too much. Just the tiniest bit of trouble. And then that corner had some issues. I remember that. Right, that is infinitely better than it was. Like night and day. It's doing so that yellow again is doing some funky stuff already. We'll see if we can just smooth that out here a little bit as it's doing it. Right here, it's doing some really funky stuff. Just going to try and smooth that into what hopefully will look like little clouds in there. We can get the little puffer blower out too if we need to, but if that'll work, I'll just let it go with that. I mean, a little interest is good as long as it doesn't look too funny. I don't mind some little strange things coming in there. Depends on how they come in there and what they look like. And there's some dots or something down here. Oh, those might actually be little flecks. You know, I think it might be that magenta that has those weird flecks in the paint. I should take a closer look at that. Since things I do with the magenta tend to dry with those weird little bumps in them. They look like air bubbles, but they're not. They're actually little bumps in the paint. Some little tiny ones I can get away with. That's not too bad, but... Right now, we already got kind of a start on this. With this purple, which is pretty good. It's underneath there. Not too much. We're doing okay. Now, that spot there looks a little too much like a drip, and not enough like a cloud. Let's fix that. The other spot that went a little funky is right here. It just sort of stops. To be okay, but it kind of stopped in a way that looked like a big drip stop, not like a cloud would stop. And here, same thing happened. Let's try and fix that. That, even though it still looks a little drippy, I think we can get away with it looking like a cloud. Okay. So let me just try and adjust my glasses without actually touching them because of my hands being covered in paint. I'm going to take these blues, even though they're strong, and put them down here. The cyan just hates me today. I'm going to try and clear that. Right, yeah, when that clears, that really clears. I'm going to get a little bit cyan. Let's make sure we just have paint on everything. It's just like stopping right at the edge. And then let me get a smaller one here. Smaller than that even, or is that okay? Maybe not something smaller. Okay. Not sure if I've got any purple or anything up here. I just want to fill in some paint in here. Gotta be careful not that I filled it in and not go, oh, let me just grab that the way I do when I haven't painted it yet. I so wish I could say that would be, and that would be the first time I ever did that. All in the better. I just want to see, I might just give a little more of that lavender, I think. Swipe that one more time. Those two thin areas meet. Just bring that down there if it can come. Okay. Let's see, I shouldn't have too much on the top that moves. I want to see if the bottom moves enough to just get that down there a little bit. Especially right at that one edge. Always bad on the edge. That's already looking like another unrespectable seascape. Oh, hello, Dan. All right, now we have kind of our base, what we're going to work with here. Hopefully, if all goes to plan. I'd like to get a little bit more interest in here. It kind of just gets down here and it's just blue with nothing else. So let's see if we can just kind of get that a little bit more something. Doesn't help if you go right back over it, does it? It's okay. I like a little more movement down here. I think it's okay. These colors are pretty. I kind of like leaving those. This one part looks a little funny. I don't know if I missed going over it or what happened there. Let's fix that there. Put just a little bit like these are extra little movement in the water, although it's pretty good for the amount it's got anyway. Those weird little dots. We'll get those weird little dots out of there if we can. There's a little bit of smuts in there. There's something got in that paint. It's right. There's like a little thing in there. I don't know if I can get it out. It might have to live there. I might have to. Oh, did I get it? I might have got it. Lower that again. It's not the straightest horizon line in the world. It doesn't have to be though for the most part, because we're going to fill in with things, with rocks and things in here. Stand up. Until I'm slipping as I come across. I think it's because I'm not standing up here where I can see a little more. Boy, my hand is just not very steady. Something you can deal with when you're not dealing with poor paint. You can deal with that kind of issue a little better. A little bit of weirdness got in here too. It just doesn't quite have paint near the edge. See if I can get a little of this lavender in here and just sort of work it in there. I think that'll work. It looks better than having bare canvas staring back at me. Okay. Well, first off, I want to get some little distant rocks. I might use more goldish paint. Oh, I've got some yellow paint, but it's all down there at the bottom. I don't know that I wanted yellow anyway, so let's not worry too much about that. Sometimes it's nice to kind of mix in some of the colors that you had. I might try, do I want to try more of this purple? Try some other purple. So come like that. Let's see like this. There's that color. Here. And the dark purple. Where is that? Oh, way over here. A little cut. I feel like I need a little cut, or do I feel like I can get by without one? Let's get a little cut. And just mix some of this. Got wood over there. Oh, can you guys still see okay? I haven't checked you for a while. Make sure my camera angle's still okay. It's okay, isn't it? But it's not stellar. Okay, that's a little better camera angle-wise. Okay. To first off, I can put a little black in at some point. Not for these. I'm going to do like some distant rocks out here. This is actually an Oregon beach that I have not been to called Bandon. But it has some really interesting rock formations. So I thought we would attempt that today. I want to see a little bit what I'm doing. So I'm going to mix some colors here. But for some further out ones, I might try and grab some of that paint. It doesn't really matter. And then I want to do just some rock formations back here. I think I'm going to have to zoom in on this and then maybe zoom back out, because I can't really see too much what I'm trying to do. But we want to kind of bring these a little bit over in here. Even down, oh I see, even down over here. Okay. I'm going to drag too much of that blue up into the sky there. I don't know if you've been there, to Bandon, but they had what appear to be some pretty interesting rock formations that go on over there. So these are the more distant ones, so I've mixed a color that's not too bright. I have to see where it is, to tell you the truth. I just saw a picture and I thought, oh, that looks really cool. But I did not look up close enough to, did not look up about information about where exactly it is. So I don't know how close it is for me to try and get to. I don't know what's going on with that one. Let's just put that there. Just some little ones along in here. I don't think we're going to do anything trying to do anything too exact. Right, so there's some little ones back in there. If we bring it down like that, we can make that be a little bit of shadows, or reflections. Well, shadow, I guess, is close to reflection. There's some sort of distant formations. And I might be able to zoom back out now that I've seen the distant ones. I couldn't see them that clearly where I was. Now here we're going to do the bigger ones. And I'll go ahead and leave some of this color in here because it doesn't make too much difference, I don't think. I'm going to get some of that. Maybe a little bit of the black for coming close. Yeah, I didn't look up where it is, if it's near Cannon Beach, which I think is southern Oregon. I didn't really look it up. I don't really know. Okay, now here, they have a formation that I think is actually, I don't know if it's actually called Wizard's Hat or that's just something they call it, but I thought it was cool, the idea of it, so let's do it. And that's going to come right about here, and it actually looks like a peaked Wizard's Hat coming along in there, so let's just try and get that basically in there. I think maybe I'll try that just the most basic shape of these rocks. And then we'll fill in as we go. Does that sound like a reasonable way to approach this thing? Then there's like a kind of a squarish rock back here. And then sort of a kind of a rounder, sort of weird looking shape thingy back in here. And that's probably all the ones we'll have room for on this one. And then this one is actually kind of the furthest down here, the little Wizard's Hat. Let that sort of live down in here. The rock next to it, maybe. Few of the rocks over here. Color on in there. Of course, this will mix with the color underneath, which is fine. I'll decide how I want to do it. I don't know that I can really, a lot of times I blow the rock shapes, but I don't know that I can do that and have them really retain their shape the way I'd like for them to. You know what I might do is try it with a straw instead of the blower, just because I can get a little bit more control there. I'll make the Wizard's Hat one a little bit bigger even that. A bit more maybe like that. It's kind of in front of these other ones and looks a little bit bigger. Other thing you can do to smooth it out would be to try and swipe it a little bit. Try and smooth the colors out without. You don't want it too smooth, it's a rock, but you know, not quite as chunky as that. Somehow I got the top of that, and it's just really messing up even more with each passing second. I really want to come in here and look at this color down in here. So we can sort some of the color back in here underneath here. I put that other little rock there, now I can't put a reflection into it. I forgot about that technique. That might be better. And it's a bigger side or a smaller side? Come right in and fill it with. It's not too bad. It's a little thick, but I can't see how to thin it without, you know. Oh, my canvas just smithereens. Well, see, there you go, Dan. That's what it needs then. This front part here, it feels a little plain. I'm not as happy with that. And I think I'd like to get these back rocks, I think, they're not that far away. I think they should have a little of the, oh shoot, the hair in there. I think they should have a little of the darker color in there, and now I'm going to have to try and smooth out where I just got that hair in there as well. Just to maybe, I think I'm going to have the light coming from this side over here, so I'm going to primarily darken these rocks on that far side of that. That way it'll make them, you know, because they are a little closer than what it appeared to have them be so dark. Okay, we'll mix that in a minute. First of all, let's try and fix that. Fortunately, water is somewhat forgiving compared to some of these things, at least. Those mixed in there a little bit better. I'm not real happy that kind of bulged up there, and it shouldn't be. It's the horizon line, but because of the rock paint being in there, it added more bulk in that paint, and then it kind of. Alright, then what I wanted to do. They are. The only difference is these don't have trees growing up on them, like some of the sea stacks do. But yeah, they're just, they are exactly like that, Dan. Okay, now what I want to do is also have maybe a little bit of this too. Try a little bit here as well. I want to make this look like this is the light from that sunset hitting these rocks. So I've got a mixture of red and magenta for that. Those back ones I won't worry about. They could be that the front rocks would be blocking the light potentially there anyway, so I won't worry too much about those. Okay, let's see. We can get that up in here as well. Get a swiper for that. It's not going that smoothly on there. Yes, in some cases it's very interesting, as it often is on these things. I don't know what's going on there. I just keep taking that paint right off there. That's okay. Okay, it's stuck in there. Good. Let's get a little more of the red and magenta. So it still is sticking a little funny up there. Let's try and keep that in there a little better. So I have seen sea stacks, just not these ones. There's some, as we drive along the coast, you can see the sea stacks. So I'm just going to have that come above there. It just keeps going up there, and it's probably better to do it that way, just to give up. It's probably better to just give up that way. And this one will get a little more of this bright color in there, particularly there. more dark. We lost a lot of our dark just mixing it in there, so I want to make sure we've got some areas that are very dark in the crevices of this rock. Don't want it to dry off all just muted mottled colors. And this guy here, this poor guy here really lost his dark colors. Good dose of dark in there. It's still dark, but it's mixed in a little. We've got some dark. Still looks like a lizard tat. Even plenty on that. The sky area is a little boring, isn't it? I was going to have more clouds and stuff in it. But we can see how it dries. It might dry quite interesting. Hard to say. And it's tempting to do something over in here because there's nothing there. Another little rock all the way back in here. Just a stopper. Some sort of stopper rock back in there. Got rocks all over here, so that's possible. This one, the two halves of that rock sort of separated. Here we go. Looked like it was cleaved in half. And we could put like a bigger rock up here in front, or it doesn't have to be a bigger rock. It can be just a rock that happens to be up in front. I mean, they've got rocks all over the place. Maybe we'll do that, because that area just looks like it's got, nothing going on at all. Which some negative space is good. Sometimes you go, yeah, that's right. That's how it should be. But somehow I'm just not feeling that is the case here. This feels like it needs something more. Let's go a little bit more black. A little bit of purple. Maybe let's put some kind of big rock things here. I'll have to highlight. We'll highlight those as well, of course. Everybody get equal highlight in there. In its space a little bit more. Let's get a little of that highlighted color still. Does that work? Actually, that part could stay in shadow, because the light could be hitting here but not down in here. That might be better. Not detract too much from the other rocks then. Fill it in without really getting in there too much. Mix in those shadows. I had another rock here, and then I sort of lost it when I was doing that. It's 12 by 16, Dan, so the usual size canvas that I use. The other sizes I use are the 12 by 12s, are the smaller than this, and 14 by 18 are a little bit bigger, but this is the main one I use. This is the one that I meant to order a different size, but I ordered more of these, so I ended up with so many of these. I've been using mostly this size. But thank you, and thank you for saying so. Do you mean Nellie or Nessie? Like, does that look like Nessie a little bit? I can see it. You know that every time you say that, I'm going to bring up the goodies and how much I love that episode. Anytime anybody mentions the Loch Ness Monster, they have to hear about how much I love the goodies Loch Ness Monster episode. It's a requirement, the cross you guys bear. Okay, well, that's okay. I knew what you meant. Don't know what is going on with that. Oh, the sun's out. It's very pretty out there. And then, of course, we'll put some seagulls in there, so that'll help. Let's see where you guys are at here.